went well earlier, so we'll see how it goes today. I just even let this play for a little minute while we wait. What's going on, man? How you doing? Hey, that was a dope track the other day. So you're in Scotland or are you in England or like I'm no good with accents, so I know it wasn't over here. I'm good. Trying out this new format. I'm not used to this whole live streaming thing, so trying to give it a good shot. England, nice. I went to where was it? Portsmouth, I think. Uh, when I was in the Navy, we stopped in Cove and then we hit Portsmouth, and then we went on to the Baltic. It was a cool trip. Like we had a lot of fun. The food wasn't great though. I got to say that. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a good shot. Like I've got a good bit of social anxiety, so this is me actually working through some of my issues doing this. So I'm cleaning my glasses. I'm not doing anything dirty. Uh, yeah, like I'm from Louisiana, so like our food is on top, and like it's us, then the French, and then everybody else. Like we came up with gumbo and jambalaya and like all the good stuff. So, but like I did have a great time over there though. We played darts at this little pub and like it was a wonderful time. Like everybody was nice. Like this was back in the '90s, so yeah, I was like it was cool, bro. I like finding the independence and trying to give them a little bit of amplification. Like that's literally what I wrap my whole channel around, like helping people figure out things in their head and helping independence get seen. Sorry. I really like seeing people do their thing, man. Like there's too many people scared to do anything that I love seeing people actually doing their thing. And you were killing it, bro. Like, oh, you had your own flow, but like honestly, you can tell that you still got a little bit of work trying to get your flow settled out where you want it to be. But like it was great. I got it on my list. I don't do people like I try not to do songs back to back. Oh, but yeah, it was tight. But like I'm not the biggest rap head either, right? Like I'm just out here enjoying music, so I'm not a big one for critiquing people. So you do anything outside of music, or is music your full time gig? Oh, so yeah, so yeah, you're doing amazing for only a year. That's good stuff. Good stuff. I mean, spilling water on myself. That's awesome. What do you do? forgot on the grind. That's what's up. That's what it's got to be about, bro. You got to be on top of it. Ain't nobody gonna give it to you. That's for sure. I forgot to turn off warehouse operative. That's what's up. You like load trucks or you do like shipping and receiving? Like I used to work at this chemical plant here in Baton Rouge, and we did a lot of warehouse stuff in there, driving forklifts, loading trucks, and stuff like that. I forgot to turn off the delay in the chat. I meant to do that. That's good stuff, bro. Like you can make good money doing that. Like people underestimate it. Like I got injured and I couldn't work in there anymore. So like, but I made good money there, like really good money. Yeah, 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 bro. You got to be on your grind, though. Ain't nobody gonna give you nothing, especially not nowadays. Just too hard to come by. Like I feel weird in this format. Like it's new to me, and like I've got it's a weird thing to me. I was on it like earlier for like 45 minutes though. It was kind of cool to be able to just chat with people. So like you married or dating? Everybody's going now. Thanks for stopping in. What's going on? I'm just watching PVD until somebody pops in the chat. So just watching some PVD until people pop into the chat. Y'all want to chat? Hit me up. Just watching some PBD until somebody pops in the chat. Trying out the new format. So
I think they're thinking about it a couple of ways because Trump is going to let him have Crimea, and he's not going to have Ukraine join NATO. And those are things that Russia wants. So I also think that what you've got there is better for us means you don't have a strong America First leader who's going to take, a heavier-handed approach. We talked about this in the podcast.
I really wish I knew how to turn off
This
the
war doesn't break out
delayed
from the
chat.
president. I think there's a discussion there. It's like, whoa,
Okay, that's
no,
not it.
we're not going to do this. And I think the
What
economic
about this? What is this?
and I think leadership would have shown forward. So I find it interesting
Filters.
when you look at the two things
Oh, that's hilarious.
by the president on how they're
Like I'm like that asshole on TikTok.
Biden is better for us, and they're talking about predictability. But with Biden,
Shake my head bald and get right up in the screen.
I want to ask that. What tough questions, if you were talking, what tough questions are you asking this guy? And I'm not being an ass. I'm being genuine. Besides the reporter question and something about why and when we can do this.
Just killing time. Anybody wants to chat, pop on in.
To push his buttons even more. Last question he asked was about Evan.
Playing with the old
I think that's a
stuff.
very important question. I think journalists,
That ain't nothing.
journalism needs to be protected, and the integrity of journalism needs to be protected. He's wrongfully accused of espionage, sitting in a Russian prison cell, rotting. It's the number one story continually on Wall Street Journal. If you read the paper, I would specifically focus on the war. I would spend 2 hours.
Okay, so that's all the chat on, but now I don't know if it's still got the delay or not. I think that might have fixed it.
Asking about the Nord Stream pipeline. There's some tough conversations to be had about Russia. Look, here's the bottom line. Here's the reality of today. Right now, U.S. and Russia relations are the lowest since the Cold War. Biden and Putin aren't even speaking at this point. So to the point where, I don't know about this, Pat. I don't know if he actually would want Biden. It's pretty clear to me that the right side of the Republican Party wants
Just hanging out watching some PVDs, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
would want is to stop funding Ukraine, take over the territory that they basically wrongfully possessed, and just trounce all over Ukraine and Kiev and Crimea and the Donbass and everything. So I'm not fully convinced that he actually wants Biden. Now, at the same token, Biden is clearly a weaker candidate than Trump in many facets. So it's and by the way, just to circle back on everything, do you know what's going on next month in Russia? Well, take a guess. Election season, like in 2024, 40% of the world is being holding elections. Putin is shooing to win. In fact, Wall Street Journal reported during the election, Russian authorities have quote unquote eliminated any serious opposition. Literally, that's it. Like literally, that's the reporting. So Putin calls Biden experienced and predictable. We all remember the interview where he praised Trump as colorful and talented. If you want to ingratiate yourself with Trump, just call him a nice guy, tell him he's great, and he'll be your laptop. So to answer my question, they focused on the war. Well, hold on. Which focused on? He talked about the reporter. He talked about the Nord Stream pipeline and CIA. What else would you ask that would have been this hard pushing? I would have spent 2 hours on the war. I would have spent 2 hours on the war. I would have said, why are you doing this? The one thing he said, do you have any regrets over the war? No, my only regret is that I didn't act earlier. Yeah, but what Adam, because listen to me, he had a red line. He even said, remember, nothing happened during Trump. I'm sorry, Biden said on camera and rocket finding, but you know the plan. He goes, he invited them to attack. He was like, I'm not going to do anything if there's a minor incursion.
Just hanging out, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
He goes, if they want to do a minor incursion,
It's all good.
Biden's word, not mine.
It's a new format. I'll be surprised if anybody else pops in at all, really. Like somebody's here watching. I appreciate you.
Nothing else would have been asked. Adam, nothing else would have pushed this guy's button. He talked about
I did not mean to do that.
when Biden said that about if they want to do a minor incursion, that's fine. Biden's word, not mine. So that's unbelievable that he would say that. And of course they want, but Biden's the most predictable old man, and nothing else would have been asked. Adam, nothing else would have.
Y'all see that cop car got shot up today or yesterday? That Acorn took it out.
He talked about the guy, and you know what basically said to him said? Your side doesn't even want to talk to me. The fact that it has to be a reporter to go talk to the leader of our adversary should tell you a lot about what's up with our political establishment.
Do, do, do,
Putin
do.
just gave his response to the interview. Well, you know who's going to respond next? Tucker. Probably Tucker, of course. And he's going to answer those questions. Was anything off the table? Was there anything they didn't tell you should or shouldn't say? Did you feel for your life at all? Tucker, who's now safely back in the United
What's going on, man? How's life up in Canadian?
States these days?
What part of Canada? Like that's a big area there, eh? I'm from Louisiana, like all the way on the Gulf Coast. Eh? Yeah. Like I gotta learn how to turn this Hamilton, Ontario. Okay. I have a vague idea of where Ontario is. You know what? I have a computer. I can Google that. That's the West Coast, right? Southernmost province of Canada. Oh no, that's all the way. Well, that's Great Lakes area. Okay. That's still a big old chunk of land right there. That's a lot. Is it still cold up there? Like it's warm here. We have springing. It's not very free, I will say that. Like that's the like it seems to be nice people. The closest I ever got was Great Lakes, Illinois. But yeah, it like I don't like places where they get feet of snow. It's like not my climate at all. I'm much better if we get inches every decade or so. Like here in Louisiana, we get an inch every 10 years or so. It's great. It's not like that there. Huh? Still cold, I guess. Like, is that close to the Great Lakes? Like, I was, which one's Chicago one? Superior? I think it's Superior. Oh, I was stationed there for boot camp and for A school. So I spent about 9 months on the lake right there. It was nice. They only had like 2 seasons though. Like it was like winter and the 4th of July. So what do you do? Nice. Like I never realized how high in elevation they were. Like I realized how big they were because I've seen them, but I never realized like they're like really high in altitude. Like they're much higher in altitude than New Orleans is. We'll put it that way. Let's see if I can move this up here. Something. It feels like it's right in my face right there. So what do you do for a living, bro? Yeah. Like New Orleans is actually under sea level. Like I'm right at sea level where I'm at. I'm about 60 miles north of New Orleans. Yeah. Contractor. Been there. Like I wasn't a contractor. I worked for many of them though. Like I started out framing houses when I was 13 and then did a lot of concrete work when I got out of the Navy. Some boiler making, some pipe fitting, welding inspection, stuff like that. Back when I could walk normal. The concert show, what's that? Who was playing? Like I'm so old school. It's weird to me that I can talk to somebody in Canada just like, oh, concrete exposition. That's cool. Oh, I did concrete testing for a while. Like I was with professional service industries, and we did the concrete pressure testing. My wife actually works in that industry now. They do that uh, construction materials testing. That's cool. You seen that pervious concrete? That's some pretty cool stuff. Like they were just starting to roll that out the year I got my wreck. So I got to see the early iterations of it, but I haven't really got to see it like since they've been playing with it for a while. Yeah, that's good for snow, right? For like helping disperse the water. Like we get buckets of water when we get water, but like I want to say that it was made for y'all first. And like they just try and put it down here in the swamp because we got problems with the water coming up from underneath it. It don't drain so well in the swamp. But yeah, that's cool. Like expos. Yeah, what you working on? Like job site videos or like something different or ah, cool. I thought about trying to do interviews and stuff, but like I do the reactions because it's fun to talk about the issues and stuff, and like I really like digging into the the issues that I deal with in the music. And I thought about doing some interviews and stuff, but I got too much. Like you got to go places, deal with the actual people, and that's hard for me. Like I get out in my little comfort zones, and I'm okay in my comfort zones, but I don't know about going across the country to talk to somebody in their spot. Like I don't know about all that. This is my bedroom. Like I started out in my garage. I have a room out there, and my brother-in-law needed a place to stay, so I moved into my kitchen for a while, and then I moved into my into here, and this is my studio right here. Like it's just me and what I do. Like I just got a little camera on my computer and a microphone, and like it's a real low bar to entry. Like the hardest part is making yourself sit down and actually do it. Uh, and like different genres have different, you know, needs. I do a very little bit of video editing, but there's free stuff that you can get. So if you've got a computer or a phone, you can do a whole lot these days. And it's an interesting growth experience. Like you will be surprised how much you will grow from doing this type of thing. Like it's crazy because like just to sit here and have this type of a conversation on the phone 3 years ago would have been absolutely impossible for me. Like there's no way I could have done this. Absolutely no way. Like I'd have been balled up somewhere. It's like, no, that ain't happening. So, like this, like the channel has really helped me to expand beyond that. Yeah, you gotta you got to be careful with it too, because I have a tendency to overconsume technology. Like I will sit here in a YouTube hole all day long. And so I have to force myself to discipline. Like I'm working on my game and I do what I do in the mornings. Like I do my reactions and my other videos in the morning and then I'm on my game most of the afternoon, but like I take care of my house and stuff too. Since I'm a house husband, like my wife works full time and I'm disabled, so I do the cooking and the cleaning and all that stuff. Yeah, I've got to get rid of this delay for this chat. I turned it on and I was like, maybe I'll turn it off, and then I forgot to turn it off when I did this one. So I'll have to write that down and remember that. Turn off slow chat. Yeah, I guess it's hard to lay concrete in the snow or when it's cold, right? It's got to be like over like what 43 or 45 degrees, something like that. I don't know. Then y'all might never get to lay no concrete. But it's definitely good to capitalize on your time off. Like a lot of people want to take the time and just put their feet up, but like if you can find an easy grind, and like this is a grind, don't have no doubt about it, but it's an easy grind. I have done way worse things. I pumped shingles in the middle of August in Louisiana, so this is much easier than that. But capitalize on your time off. Like once you figure out what you want to make the videos of and you start sitting down to do it, you'll get to the point where you actually want to. It really does get to that point eventually. So, and like what I do, it's a lot like therapy. So I'm sitting here talking to my therapist every day for free. But I'm probably going to be trying to do more of these because they really are restricting back on the reactions a whole lot. And they're promoting this. That's why I'm doing this. Like they put out a thing where they're promoting this type of video. So this might be something you want to look into if you were interested. Oh, and they have the functionality. I don't know how to work it yet, where you can pull people into your lives. So you could probably do some interview type stuff that way too. Like I've got to have somebody I know to do that with before I would do it random. But they're trying to compete with old TikTok, and I'm more comfortable on this platform than I am on TikTok. TikTok's full of a lot of hateful people. Like YouTube's not really full of that many. Like there's a lot of idiots. Don't get me wrong, but there's not as many as on TikTok. I'm just playing with the settings here. So.
That's weird. Okay, so that's what that does. Like they got some little settings on the side here, and I was just seeing what all they had. That's crazy looking. Up here it looks wild. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Turn that off. Does that do anything? No.
Enemies of the state and being a draft and all that. Let's see what he has to say because he has a voice too. Let's see how he responds. Did you see him, Pat? Did you see him go to the train station? And yeah, how insane? Because mind you, okay,
I've got to turn this delay
right
off.
now you just think cold and they're poor. This is just from what the media does. When Tucker went on Tucker Shorts, I think they're called. He went into the train station.
Hanging out, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
Play that nice song. Yeah, if you play that, I actually have a response on what that. I don't know. Before you play that, do you want to respond on what you think Tucker's going to do next time, or what?
No, I can't because I don't know. I don't know if there was, like, for example, when DeSantis came here, obviously we're talking two different levels here, but when DeSantis came, his press secretary called me the night before to get a feel about the questions. And I said, are you calling me to ask me to not talk about certain things? She says, no, I just want to know what you're planning on talking about. I said, well, I'm going to talk about X, Y, Z. Okay, great. Looking forward to seeing you more in JK. So nothing was off the table. Like,
What DeSantis or something?
no, so I was able to ask whatever the questions I wanted to ask, which I did. But to me, I don't know if that was the agreement. So then you as an interviewer have to sit there and say, do I take this interview with those 5 topics being off, or do I not take this interview? The last time somebody interviewed him was this many years ago. Maybe I will still take the interview because I'm still going to be talked about worldwide, it's still going to be trending. I'm still going to get hundreds of millions of eyeballs, if not billions of eyeballs. Yeah, let's go ahead and do it without those 5 topics, right? Or you can say, I don't think Putin would care if he took, brought up any topics. I don't know. I don't know the dynamics of that organization. I would love to do an interview with Putin. My approach would be a very different approach I would take. But if I had 2 hours, I would have taken a similar and a different approach in a couple areas. Because I think from his standpoint, Putin's standpoint, Putin is such a what is it?
Just hanging out, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
And sometimes gangsters want to talk to gangsters, is what they want to do. And Tucker was, there's so much pressure on Tucker to go out there and knowing no matter what you do, guess what? You're not going to be seen as doing a great interview. There is no winning when you interview somebody that powerful. Nothing. So you're not going to win. It's a lose-lose win. Meaning, it's a lose-lose win. You're going to win. Tucker won. But it's a lose-lose at the beginning. Then you win long-term because after that,
Don't blame me.
anybody and everybody has to agree. You don't have the brass to sit down and talk to me, and Putin did. You don't. You're 1/10 of him. You're 1/5. So I think this is going to be the beginning of a lot of crazy interviews.
Give it about 10 more minutes, I guess.
I want to do this last, and I'm going to move on to
No,
the next story.
and look, I'm not trying to pull a Dana White right now or Haley Mandel and give you all your praise and you walk off the podcast. I'm not trying to do that. Everyone knows you're a very gifted, talented interviewer. You didn't go to school for this. This is just something that you.
Colombia, 4 years.
Yes, exactly. Colombia and South America. But you've interviewed mafia bosses. You've interviewed presidents. You've interviewed the greatest athletes of all time. You've sat down with major people. DeSantis, even everything you just mentioned. I think my personal opinion, I think the next evolution of what you're going to do is you're going to be interviewing the Putins of the world. I think you're going to sit down with the Zelensky. I think you're going to sit down with the Maduro. I think you could sit down with the Xi. I think you could sit down with the Kim Jong-un. I see that for you. That's my opinion. But when you go to sit down with these people, if they tell you, PVD, hey, don't ask these questions. These are questions you cannot ask while you're sitting down with Xi, while you're sitting down with Maduro. How would you respond to that?
Okay, so what things will I respect? If it's a mistress, wife, personal life, I'm not interested. You know, Michael had a relationship with the media. We never talked about his, you know, his goals and what he did party and all that stuff. I'm not interested in that. Everything else, I'm interested in. So I'm interested in talking. When I sat down with Sammy, whatever you do, don't bring up my son or my daughter. No problem. I'm not interested in your son and your daughter. That's sensitive subject. I'm interested in everything else, and I'm gonna bring up everything else. And I took 6 months of negotiation with Sammy. The first time he did an interview. This is Sammy just got out of jail. The last interview Sammy did was with.
Hanging out, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
Sawyer got, 20 million eyeballs, and he's telling me it's on the phone. I said I want to talk about everything else, but I'm not going to bring up your daughter and your son. And then let's sit down and have a conversation and let the audience decide. But yeah, I would be open to that, but all the other things we have to talk.
If they said, hey, listen, you said, all right, respect, we're not talking about your personal life, wife, kids, family. Don't ask me about this war. Don't ask me about this,
It's
wrongful
not a real interview.
Okay.
Because my MO is the following. Here's my MO. I ask you a question, okay? You don't want to answer the question. Guess what you do? Answer the question that you don't want to answer the question. Let the audience know.
Hanging out, seeing if anybody wants to chat.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, so what happened with you and November?
Next question.
Well, guess what? Why is that a next question for you? Why is that a sensitive topic for you?
So corner them.
But it's not even cornering them. Even if I ask 3, 4, 5 follow-up questions, your non-answer is an answer.
Yeah.
And let the audience go and talk about, the way we're talking about it right now is, what is a non-answer? Why did he not want to answer that? Is it because he thought he was going to reveal something? Is it because, but that is still an answer, right? A non-answer is an answer.
Like how you, the conversation you had with Tom Brady, you said, hey, listen, rings, Michael, Brady, Belichick, and he swerved multiple times, and Pat's like, well, look, before I move on, I gotta ask again, the way that you delicately kind of approach that, respectfully but forcefully, I can see that.
I think a great interview filled with tough questions, combined with respect and a certain level of humility and a level of curiosity makes for the interviewer and the interviewee.
All right, I'm probably gonna call this. Figure out how to turn that delay off.